Well, hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be going through and reacting to some of the Hull City hot takes. Yes, I've selected 5 Hull City hot takes that I have seen out there on the internet, whether that be on Twitter or X. Here on the YouTube channel, people commenting them in the comments, or on various different social media platforms, or possibly even what I've heard on the stadium. I haven't picked any of them, but if you like this, I might do that in some future ones. If you do have any Hull City hot takes, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your hot takes are and what your reactions are to the 5 that I've selected today. So let's start off with our first one, and that is Hull City should sack Tim Walter. Now, currently, I would say no. But if you was asking me a few weeks ago and if that form continued up till now and we saw no progress, I could have possibly seen why this hot take would have been so prevalent, and it was so prevalent a few weeks ago. But the team are sort of changing around. Every team that comes to the MKM Stadium, and to be frank, we have had some very good teams come to the MKM Stadium so far this season. I think we've only had one stinker, and that was Cardiff, which we quickly sorted them out. But other than that, the teams that have been coming have been teams that will be challenging for either the title or top 6 promotion in some sort, and all of them have looked, one for a better word, crap. Yes, we have sort of dealt with business at the MKM Stadium, and I'm putting this down to Tim Walter's style of play, getting the home form up, which is a big thing. Yes, the results haven't been coming our way, but even when teams like a Sheffield United, like a Sunderland, teams that are up there, are at the top of the top end of the table, Sunderland, the top of the table at the moment, they came to us and they looked, I won't say as bad as Cardiff looked, but certainly down there on the lower end of the Championship spectrum. And whether this just is a fluky thing, I don't think it is, though, considering we've had, I want to say, 4 or 5 good quality Championship teams come to the MKM Stadium this season. They've done their business elsewhere, but when they come to our park, they are struggling, and I'm putting it down to Tim Walter's style of play and how he can manage to make even the best of teams in this league look like a subpar Championship team. So give it time, give it the process. I know it's that trusty thing, trust the process, but I promise you it will work out. And Tim Walter is a long-reigning Hull City manager in my books. I think that he has been brought in with a blank slate at the start of this summer, and he brought in the players that he thought would fit the system for this season, fit what he wanted to do for year 1 of the Walter plan. And I don't think there'll be any rash decisions to sack him, like we saw with Rosinia. I think that we could possibly see a 3-year plus Walter reign. We possibly could even try and push and extend that contract, the big lengthy contract that he got when he signed with us. So Tim Walter to get sacked, I don't think so. So that is a no on the hot take. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one is a fresh one off Charlie Hughes having 2 fantastic full performances for Hull City. And that is Charlie Hughes is better than both Maguire and Greaves. So it's a very, very hot topic at the moment, Charlie Hughes, or should I say Hughes, and his efforts at Hull City, and really showing why wasn't he in from moment 1 when we signed him. Yes, he had that little bit of an injury issue, which he had to go and get surgery to sort out. I believe it was his appendix or something like that. But in the 3 games, or certainly the 2 games where he's had the starts, he has been absolutely fantastic. Last night was a big one. He was the best player on the pitch. I gave him my Man of the Match award. He was the best player on the pitch for Hull City. I want to say in the entirety of the pitch, I think he was better than all of the Burnley players, all of the Hull City players. Is he better than Maguire and Greaves? Both players combined, he probably will have a long way to go to that. At the moment, he's not as good as Maguire or Greaves. Both of them are playing at the Premier League. Both of them are competing at the highest level in English football. Maguire, of course, doing it for a longer stretch of time. Yes, he may have had the hit and misses that we all know about, but he has done it even on the biggest stages for England, performing in finals, or a final. So, is he better than Maguire and Greaves? No. Will he be? who knows if he continues this reign of form and this sort of dominance that he's had for the past 2 games. He really will have a fantastic career. Remember, he's a young English centre-back. And we know how much they are sought after we saw Maguire getting sold from Leicester to Man U for that extortionate fee. I believe it was the most for a defender, maybe even in world football. So Charlie Hughes, at the moment, if you're going to take Charlie Hughes right now, compared to the Maguire that we had at Hull City and the Greaves possibly in his first year, I would say that he's definitely better in his first year at Hull City than Greaves was in his first year. Remember, Greaves was at a younger age because he developed through Hull City's academy, whereas Hughes has come from Wigan. Is he better than the Maguire that we got at Hull City in his first year? Give it time. I will answer this one at the end of the season, so I'll save this hot take for a little bit of time. He's not at the moment better than the first year Maguire, but we are, what, 2-3 games in with Charlie Hughes in his Hull City first year, or certainly I hope it to be a Hull City long tenure. So it's going to be a no for the time being on that hot take, but wait and watch this space, because I believe if Charlie Hughes continues as he does, he will definitely excel and break that glass ceiling that hasn't even been set for him yet. Let's move on to hot take number 3. Remember, you want to stay to the end as we have a very controversial hot take by somebody. So hot take number 3 for Hull City, and that is that we should be playing in our away kit at home more often. Now, this one comes off the back of what I presume was the commemorative kit, and also the fact that a few seasons ago, when we had to play in our home kit at home to our away kit at home, sorry, to try and get a win because we needed to stay up. This is all that superstitious nonsense. That if you believe in it, you believe in it. If you don't, you don't. Personally, not all the time. I'm not opposed to, if Hull City need to play in their away kit to keep this superstitiousness, to play in the away kit at home. The commemorative kit, that has got a winning record at home. It got a 4-1 victory at home against Cardiff City. And at that time, we had to play in our away kit to get the 3 points to avoid relegation earlier than what we was putting it down to. Sort of was going into last game of the season at that point. But thankfully, we got the home win a few games beforehand in the away kit, and we managed to secure our place in the Championship then. So I'm not opposed to Hull City playing in the away kit every game at home. No, because that just negates the whole factor for having the home shirt, and the home shirt is what the club is founded on. Hull City are founded on the colours of the black and amber. You see it behind me on the wall, you see it on everything. Everything with Hull City is black and amber, so if you just negate that, you're losing the club's identity, and we do not want to go back to the Elam reign where they probably would have had this, where they probably would have had the full team playing in 3-piece suits because it gets more money for them. But yeah, I mean, I am saying that whilst wearing a third shirt, but that's besides the by. So yes, Hull City to wear home shirts at home, yes. If they need to wear the away shirts for some superstitious reason on an odd occasion, I will allow it. So it's a somewhat, I will accept that hot take. Let's move into hot take number 4. And that is, Hull City should re-sign Abel Hernandez. So Abel Hernandez, well, he's a free agent, so Hull City could pretty much sign him right now. But I don't think they will. Abel Hernandez, of course, he would be fantastic for the nostalgia aspect. He would be he is a striker who's done it at this level before. Yes, that was many years ago, though. So I'm not fully off the Abel Hernandez should come back to Hull City train. I'm not fully on it either. I'm kind of on the fence. If you was to ask me a few months ago, probably during the height of the summer transfer window when we weren't signing anyone, I was on this channel even, making videos going, okay, I can see why Hull City might want to bring back Abel Hernandez. Yes, it'll be brilliant for fan engagement and that nostalgia aspect. Abel Hernandez probably being one of the best, certainly one of the best South American players Hull City have ever had. And certainly from his time period, probably one of the most prevalent Hull City players during that mid-2010s sort of reign, late 2010s reign, if you want to call it that. He was certainly one of the more prevalent ones before we moved on to the likes of Grzyski and Bowen. But Abel Hernandez coming back to Hull City, I'm not sure what his age is, but he's certainly getting on. And to be a player who's without a club, fitness, you're going to be wondering about that. And we know about that with some of the free agent signings that we've signed where we haven't seen them for a few weeks or a month's case in some players. So that's something to worry about. Can he redo it at this level? You don't want to bring him back and then that tarnish his Hull City legacy. So I am going to go with a no for Hull City should re-sign Abel Hernandez as a player. Whether Hull City want to come and grab him in and get Abel Hernandez in some sort of coaching aspect like we've seen with former players like Andy Dawson or David Myler, who knows? I'll be open to that in some sort of aspect because, as I say, he is a striker who's proven it at this level, and all we know is our strikers need some help at scoring at this level. So I would be happy if there was to bring him in some sort of a coaching aspect like that. But as a player, I am going to say no to that hot take. So let's move on to the last hot take for today's video. Hot take number 5 being the big controversial one, certainly after we saw it firsthand against Burnley. I like Hull City's goal music. Well, Hull City's goal music is it's a somewhat of a controversial topic, as it was loosely rumoured and announced like a month ago before the international break that Hull City were toying with the fact of having some goal musics after the team score a goal. There's a little celebration would kick off, and then music would come over the announcement system, like what we see in America with their sports systems and other avenues. I believe Crystal Palace might do it or might have tried it. It seems like something that Man City would do, and we know how the English football system likes to joke on Man City for all of their weird things like their rave light show at the start of games and stuff like that. So, if you couldn't tell by the big boos booming out of the stadium yesterday, I don't think many fans like this one, and I'm one of them. I don't see the point in having goal music. You don't add anything to the atmosphere. If anything, it takes away from the atmosphere of scoring a goal. When you score a goal, you've got that whole thing of your fans are cheering. It's just the raw emotion of fans cheering, the players celebrating, and you're going, oh my God, what a goal. Oh, it was a bobbler, but it's still a goal, or whatever. And you're looking forward and you're going, oh, we've got a goal, whether now we're 3-0 up or we're coming back from being 3-0 down and it's 3-2. Every goal means something, and to have a goal music come over the announcement system kind of sort of sucks you out of that moment and goes, they're playing, I don't know, Sweet Caroline on the speakers, and it's like, yeah, that's sucked me out of that moment a bit. So let's just go back and watch Hull City probably lose this 3-0 lead that they've got. And also to not even say the fact that it gives the opposing fans something to claw back on. So, yeah, you may be 3-0 up, you may be putting on a dominant display and your fans should be on the high and mighty, but once the goal music comes on, well, the away fans, they're just going to start ripping into you, aren't they? And that's not what you want, because A, that'll give their players something to bite onto and maybe come back from being 3-0 down in that case, or taking more charge of their lead that they have. And then also as a fan, you feel a bit weak and pathetic, don't you? Just sat there getting the abuse hailed at you from the away fans. So it's a big no for the goal music for me. We've seen it firsthand. Whether it continues at the stadium, we'll wait and see on that one. I'm sure that if it does, we won't see it that often, as our strikers, as I say, can't convert shots into goals or shots even onto on target. But we'll save that for another video. So that is reacting to 5 Hull City hot takes. So let me know down in the comments what your hot takes are, as I said, what your reactions are to these hot takes. And if you put down some hot takes, I may react to them in a later video. Make sure that you like and subscribe to keep up to date on everything Hull City, as we'll have plenty of Hull City news and content coming out before we make our away trip to Derby on Saturday for hopefully a big 3 points. So I will see you there. Up the Tigers. Come on.